Gary Gastelu is with us. He is FoxNews.com sports, car guy. Sorry, I just tripped up my tongue there. Okay, now Ferrari intends to produce and sell 9,000 cars a year. Currently, they've got a limit of 7,000 cars a year. Are you dubious or in support of this expanded production and sales?
Look, I think the market could absolutely support that. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Right now, they've already got years-long waiting lists for brand new cars. You know, the thing about Ferrari that people don't realize, they're the cheapest cars to own. Because if you buy one today and drive it for 2 years, you could probably sell it in 2 years for what you paid or more.
Really?
That's soon. There's like no depreciation on these cars. In fact,
wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, so this is why they're popular. This is why people just keep buying them, A lot of Ferrari owners own several of them. But beyond that, you know, we're talking about this major brand that has nothing to do with the cars even. People go out, spend thousands of dollars on Ferrari merchandise. People who will never be able to afford a Ferrari, they're walking around in Puma sneakers that are Ferrari branded. They're buying the clothes. They're buying the Formula One merchandise. It's just a huge brand. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fanboys today and fangirls today buying a stock. You know, they're the person who's walking around with the Ferrari clothes. Again, they're never going to be able to buy a Ferrari, but they want to own 5 or 10 shares of this, maybe even just 1 share.
So you think, I mean, I'm not asking for a stock price analysis, but you think they've got a very good shot of selling the 9,000 cars they intend to produce?
Yeah, they haven't unlocked that market at all. They could definitely get that far, I think, without giving up this sort of exclusivity.
And Adam Wyden joins us now, and you are a bull on Ferrari, is that correct?
Absolutely, I'm a bull. I think the brand is just kind of scratching the surface here. The whole ultra high-end models like La Ferrari and the Tour de France, which got sold out last week, 800 models at 800,000. They're both massively oversubscribed. The secondary market for some of these super high-end models is very, very high, tripling in value, the La Ferrari in less than a year.
Who's buying them? I mean, you're talking $300,000 cars and way up from there. Who's buying?
I'm not only talking $300,000 cars, Stuart. I'm talking $800,000 cars. I'm talking $1.5 million cars. I'm talking about very, very expensive cars. And there are high net worth individuals who are truly price inelastic, and they don't care. They want the Ferrari. They want the 499 model, car run. And I think that the current management, Sergio Marchionne and John L, can understand that, and I think that they will raise the production, not with the $250,000 car, but with many more high-end models. And I
What's
think
the margins on the car? I mean, if they sell a car for $300,000, one of those that's on the screen right now,
they made $50,000 per car last year profit.
Profit. That's the profit margin on a $250,000 car.
That's what they're. Across their 7,000 cars, they earn $50,000 per car last year in profits.
But that includes the money they're spending on research and development and the F1 team. We estimate that the incremental margins on a $350,000 car could be as much as 70%. In fact,
whoa, Adam, hold on a second here. You're talking about a $300,000 car that sells for $300,000, and you're saying that the profit margin on that is 70%?
Gross margin, yes. So
gross profit of 70% on a $300,000 car?
Yes.
I'm in the wrong business.
Yes.
No kidding. That's over 200,000 profit.
Yep, it's possible. That's kind of the story here in Ferrari. The company spent a tremendous amount of money on research and development and scaling kind of the facilities for production, but they will have to spend no incremental research and development or capital to grow production to 10,000 units. And we think that on a $350,000 car, the gross margins could be 65 to 80%. In fact, on an $800,000 car, we think it could be closer to 80, 90%. So the margin opportunity is there. They spend no money on marketing. Research and development is largely related to F1. I mean, it's all there.
Still with us, lurking beyond that camera, is Eric Schiffer, who earlier, literally 3 or 4 minutes ago, said you wouldn't touch Ferrari's stock with a 10-foot pole. Well, Eric, you have been listening to a couple of guys here who say, yeah, they can sell 9,000 cars. Adam Wyden here says they can make $50,000 profit and a lot more on a $250,000 car, which they can sell in large volume, and yet you are still a bear on the stock, right?
There's a limit to this, Stuart, and that's the problem. The problem is that at some point the growth ends. I mean, even in the U.S., they can't sell more than 10,000 cars without getting into the big emissions problems, et cetera. And I think one of the things that is also missing here is that Ferrari sold itself as this luxury brand, and how they're going to be able to extend themselves through all these products, et cetera. I just don't see how you get the shirts and pens to be able to get much higher than where they're already at the $50 to $100 million.
Okay, Eric,
without it affecting the brand itself.
Okay,
the exclusivity.
Adam
of the brand.
Wyden is still here. Point number one, raised by Eric Schiffer. If they sell 10,000 cars in America, they're running up against emissions problems.
Sure. Obviously they are under certain rules where they kind of get under the guidelines. We're not convinced that there aren't opportunities for them to purchase tax credits and different types of things to kind of raise the production above 10,000 units.
And 10,000 is globally. And you're going to see the growth in China and those sorts of markets.
They're not going to sell 10,000 cars in America.
No, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Okay, Eric's other point, the brand isn't, they can't maintain, it cheapens the brand if you put it on everything and sell it out there. And your response is?
Well, actually, if you listen to the roadshow that Sergio gave, they talked about potentially insourcing or in-housing some of the licensing deals. So I actually think they're going to stop making T-shirts and keychains. They're going to go higher end, go to Tod's, go to Hublot. And in fact, I think a lot of Ferrari's growth is going to be licensing and selling their engineering and their platform capabilities and their engines.
Eric Schiffer, give me some more negatives and we'll answer that with some positives around this table here. Give me another negative, Eric.
Well, look, China, to be able to say that China is going to be the market, that's a joke. I mean, China right now, they can't even sell these types of vehicles without people being worried about going to jail because of austerity. The Chinese government is putting a lot of pressure on people that are buying luxury goods. So China is not your market. So where are they going to sell to? I mean, that's the other challenge.
Let's see if we can get that question answered.
China's the big story.
Where are they going to sell to? Adam?
Everywhere. We have a growing ultra-high net worth community globally in the Philippines, in South Africa, in Australia. We're under dealership globally, and China's only 10% of their unit volume, so China's a non-starter for me. They're going to sell them everywhere.
Where are they going to sell them?
And that's not to say they can't sell more here if they want to. There's a demand here. There's a waiting list. You can't buy a new Ferrari right now unless you already own a Ferrari, pretty much.
Okay, we're out of time, but Adam and Eric and Gary, thank you very much for joining us right